Today I'm down at the Dincel plant, this is what's going to be making my structural walls for downstairs. So you fill it all up with Rio, and then we basically core fill all the walls for downstairs basement. So today's the training course, and let's see how it goes and learn how to install this stuff and get accredited and get a certificate ready to go, so that when we go build these walls on top of my concrete slab down the bottom, I know exactly what I'm doing and nice structure. So this is the Dincel structural walling systems, and I tell you what, it has been an absolute pleasure to install. It is absolutely amazing. It works so good. Even as one person, I've done this whole entire basement in one go by myself in under a week, and then just had a couple of guys to help me pour it with the pump truck, and then you get used the special slurry to go over it. But that was Rio, installation, everything, pretty much all by myself in a week. So I'm absolutely stoked with this product, and it's saved me so much time on doing any description of block work, which you still have to core fill with concrete and still put Rio in it, or even formwork concrete walls. You would still have to do a massive amount of improvements on the insulation, still on the waterproofing area of it as well. So this stuff has saved a lot of time and potential problems down the track by it is an engineered, guaranteed watertight system on the side, and all you have to do is just waterproof around the base where it goes onto another existing slab and seals that membrane in between the two. So, all right, watch the video. Let's see how we go. This is a bloody system that I would recommend to anybody building in the basement, downstairs, or into a hill that you're going to be using as basically a full retaining wall system, as well as a structural wall that also supports everything for upstairs and will tie in my top slab into the top of it. So hope you enjoy it. Let's go. The Dincel walls have turned up. So we've just finished, had my old man down here helping me do the get all the top hurdles all done. So these hurdles that are all in all four corners above the basement down here have all been redone. So I've double checked all the heights, made sure my wall heights have all been done at home. So you can see I've got a couple of new hurdles up here on the top side so that the string lines are fairly close to the slab. So we've got all the bottom string lines in now, which we've actually used levels up to the top string lines, stringline them down and made sure that every single line is perfectly parallel to the bottom lines are going to suit the top lines. So we've got those top lines now set up for inside of the Dincel wall, which naturally is all these walls here. So that's a corner piece. Like one of these is a full length. So on the inside of the Dincel wall here, I'll have my string line sitting just inside, which we've allowed for that extra 5mm. So when we install these Dincel walls and we stick them up, they're going to sit on the inside of this here. And you can see up on the top here, they'll have the inside and outside measurements. So you can see they've got two nails there, one for inside of Dincel, one for outside of Dincel. So for all of those, setting up the bottom of the PVC angle iron ready to hold the bottom of the Dincel that we'll be fixing against as we move along the walls. All right, let's see if we can do the Dincel with one person. Let's give it a crack, eh? So first we're going to start from a corner. We're going to lift the corner into place, check it with the string lines, screw it into the back so we've got a start point. Then we're going to come back in and do a few lengths of the actual full straight lengths, which are we're using today, the 2/850s. Then we need to come in with our hook bars, and they go round the corner bar like so and hook in over the corner. So let's see how we go. We can put these in afterwards because the corners are a 3-piece. So these corners come in like that. And this outside piece, once we've got the bottom locked in, we can actually slide out the entire corner piece to be able to put the Rio and bars in all in the ends. So let's see how we go. This will get cut down to size later, depending on my ceiling height. So now that we've got a couple of pieces into the corner, we can take away the scaffold because just so that we should be able to do it all from the ground. I'll brace the corner, then we'll work our way to get a few pieces down, and then what we'll do is we'll brace the outside of it, get the bottom screwed off as we go, and then we can keep working our way along. So you can see here I've just got a brace that's kind of jammed on to another piece, so if it does move it can still just apply a fair bit of pressure onto the outside. You can see that my string line is pretty much above that, which naturally I've got to get a few more pieces in before I fix it all, but it allows me to clip and put pressure on these Dincel walls and clip them together with their patented taper and lock system. So you can see sometimes there is just a little bit of an edge that you just got to push past, but most of the time So we've got these, we use one of the offcuts as a template. So we use that to clips in. You just saw a little bit out of the back so that we can clip it in nice and easy. Slide that down, make sure that it's not going to hit any of the bars all the way down for the next one. Otherwise you've got to modify those bars that are going, the starter bars coming up. So yeah, that's all clear. So once we've got all that clear, we take that out of the way, we go to another length. So each individual engineer will actually specify different bar placements depending on what your structural load is, what you're backfilling it with, etc. So it all comes down to the structural integrity of your actual walling system. So naturally, once you get your engineering to look over it, this bar range could vary a hell of a lot depending on your build in particular, whether it's just a retaining wall, whether you're burying a basement like I am. So So we've gone ahead and we've replaced, or taken out the corner of the Dincel. That just slides straight out the top. So now we can grab our vertical bar for the corner. All the other ones we can actually put in from the top and slide them down from a ladder. But these will sit that hard against there. I'll tie that to that bottom starter bar in a minute, and then we'll pretty much all the way up on the outside bar, sit all these U's all the way up. So pretty much here on the what we call the Candy Cane Express. Hey. They should lock in place there, and you tie a couple of those to it to make sure that bar doesn't go anywhere. Then that center corner bar will stay perfect, pretty much all the way up on all the external bars. And they basically tie all the corners in together. One corner done. Horizontal bars are all in these two sides and braced over the top, and the corner loop bars are all in. So this whole back wall is a solid wall with no access, because it's getting buried on both sides and we won't be able to push bars in from either side. You have to double up on bars through the middle, so all the other corners will be able to push bars in from each side. sometimes they get a little stuck. Fairly tight giant jam because they need to make them waterproof as well, of course, so that's what they're certified to do. So sometimes they slide in real nice, sometimes they don't. So let's try out the new jig. Let's see how it goes. So the idea is, go down here. Alright, new and improved version. This was the original version that you slide over the top of the Rio that's in the wall like that in a coil, and then you kind of rotate it and pull it out, but it kept sliding off. So, come with a pipe idea, the hole in the bottom of the pipe, and I've got Rio into here as well, a piece in supporting the back of it so it doesn't collapse on itself. So you should be able to push it through the outside with a vertical like that, slide it into that hole, rotate it, and then lift it, and then I should be able to grab it going up. So let's see how we go with that. Go from there. Better. Give me a long slog though. We've got to do it all the way to the end. So, every single one. Alright, it's Friday. I want to get all the walls in today. So I'm pouring the concrete in the walls next Tuesday, and it's a long weekend. Monday's a day off, but I'll probably work here on Monday, even though it's a public holiday. No one's going to stop me working at my own place, but I tell you what a morning. Cuts really well with a just a fine-tooth wood blade. So fixing blade worked perfect. So happy days. Oh, north wall window for the basement's in, because we've got future preparations for the downstairs 2 bedrooms. When it's a habitable space, you need to have allowances for windows. So even though they don't need to be installed for certificate of occupancy, if I've got provisions for a downstairs bedroom, later on we need to have a northern window meeting a certain minimum size. So this is a 2 metre by 1 metre high window, and we'll get that installed in that north wall. That's why there's a small retaining wall at the back where it'll get backfilled just below the window, give a bit of a plinth along the bottom, and waterproof all that wall to there. And then it'll step down outside the building line, so, and then get backfilled with rock, of course. So keep going along. Beautiful day for it. All the walls are in. Gone over most of the corners, and as you can see, got most of our loop bars in, going in both directions at the moment, including looping around that vertical bar. We will go over these corners at a later date and add extras and put extra corner bars in accordance to the engineering plans once I've gone over everything. Just need to do a couple of screws in the base plate just to secure everything. You can see here I've got another pile of loop bars ready to go through all the stop ends, so they'll stop end up in these corners here, straighten up all those horizontal bars, get all those loop bars in before we start doing all the vertical bars you can see there on the left. Well, it's Monday, but it's a public holiday here today. Finishing off all the Dincel because we're pouring the walls tomorrow. And I'm getting excited. Look at the morning though. Just got to go around all the inside of the Dincel walls now, mark all the centers of the vertical bars, as well as cut off the inside of the Dincel wall to the right height that the finished concrete level will be finished at, ready for the support of the tops, floor joists and everything like that that'll all tie into it. So they're an L bar that sits up, and then that'll tie into the top slab. So I've got to go set a string line up, make sure that that's all sitting in the right spot, because they will hold up the Rio for the top slab and tie that all together. So essentially I need the Rio itself, we want between 35 and 45 mil from top of slab. So I'll sit my L bar that's coming out of the Dincel wall, the top of that, we want to sit it around 50 mil. So when it sits on it, ties onto it, the top mesh is sitting at the right height. So yeah. Well, she's poured, starting to get all the last final touches done before we pour this afternoon. I'm going to be putting 2 external taps in, so we check all our rear heights, make sure we don't hit any of our crossbars and everything like that. So drilling through concrete later, as everyone probably knows, is going to be a lot harder than putting the provisions in now for the external taps. Everything else, as far as electrical and water is concerned, that'll all be going on the inside. So what we do is here, you can see that I've already pre-drilled and marked all the way through. Going to be putting 40 mil pipe straight through, and we'll actually seal that in to the outside on both sides, so when we concrete this afternoon we don't have to worry about hitting Rio and everything later on. So that'll miss the outside batten as well. That'll be an outside tap, and there'll be another one on the back corner over the other side. So we seal around it. You can use a Sikaflex, or in my case, I'm using a Sally's Marine Flex. So I use this thing from everything from fixing boats to anything with aluminium, PVC, steel. Well, it's time to pour. Pump truck's rocked up. All the bolts to hold down the top frame are all in. You can see there I've got the cast bolts in on the the 2 corners and the middle beam. All the bracing's done. Oh yeah, can't wait to get this done. Some makeshift second-hand bracing material as I ran out of timbers. All works good. So we use a special type of concrete to start filling these core-filled walls. It's a special type of slurry, and you need to run it at a certain type of slump as well, which we did around 180 to 200 slump. Once the concrete starts getting poured in, we also need to vibrate all the concrete down into the joins, and so it goes into all the grooves of those Dincel walls. So I had somebody on a wireless vibrator on the top hitting the bars. I had myself on a jackhammer on the jackhammer setting against a bit of timber on the base so that it all vibrates in against the base, and I also had a rubber mullet getting hit around some of the joins as well. So you get no air pockets left in the Dincel. I would like to thank again everybody that's watched this video, and hopefully you've gained something out of it. I definitely would have benefited big time from having this video to use as education before I started this without having to do too much research. So hope you all enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to sharing the next stages of the build. Next up will be a waterproofing of the Dincel walls before we do all the drainage and backfilling of the Dincel walls, and keep working our way up from there. Then get to start doing the top slab preparation, and then we get to start doing the substructures, which I'm really excited for. Once we start getting elevation into this double-story house is going to be absolutely awesome. So follow along, guys, and like the page, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.